New coronavirus outbreak spreads rapidly because of U.S. riots. Today, America is facing two big epidemics. One is the coronavirus outbreak, and the second is racial injustice. Experts are worried that mixing these two can have a disastrous effect. With thousands of people coming together, with little to no social distancing, lack of sanitation, and facial coverings, experts are on hold. But what is the true extent of the nationwide riots? Are you ready? Today we will talk about how the new coronavirus outbreak spreads rapidly because of the US riots. But before that, please do us a favor, like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so we can keep you updated on the latest financial tips and trends. According to researchers, infections are expected to climb from 3 to 6%. To understand and guide the public on coronavirus transmission, computer scientists used models to help predict the spread of the virus, especially when we're talking about mass gatherings. Experts have already been using these tools even when the outbreak was just pretty much limited to China. But now, we are seeing bigger applications as thousands of people are coming together in large crowds. For weeks, people have been convening together to fight what they consider is just as deadly as a virus: racial injustice. Don't get me wrong, protesters are already aware of the risks involved, but still, they continued on. Now, these crowds vary in size. For example, Houston saw as many as 60,000 people come together for a peaceful march. Then there's Washington, D.C. In just one weekend, the city hosted roughly 100 to 200,000 people. And that's a huge crowd, even before social distancing became a thing. Now with the threat of coronavirus, it becomes even scarier. One of the researchers at Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, Trevor Bedford, estimated using a computer model that infection rates are expected to increase from 3 to 6% every day because of these riots. Trevor explained that by June 7, the US was already seeing 20,000 confirmed cases per day and 1,000 deaths. Overall, the country had 1.5 million coronavirus infections at the time. Let's add that in, and it'll lead us to a population prevalence of 0.5%. Now, since crowd size varies per city and state, Trevor used a baseline of 600,000 protesters who are going out to the streets on a daily basis across the country. So, to put that in perspective, we are looking at 20,000 daily coronavirus infections versus 600,000 daily protesters. He explained that this might mean as many as 3,000 people are infected as they attend these riots. What's worse is that there is a possibility that some of these people are asymptomatic and that they might go on infecting others without even knowing it. Trevor also predicted that the country might possibly see more than 10, but less than 100 deaths per day. There are also other factors that might increase the risk of infection, like tear gas. In one of our other videos, we talked about how tear gas can increase the spread of coronavirus. And that's because the virus usually travels through droplets in the air. So, with people constantly singing, screaming, talking, you're virtually sending off these droplets everywhere. Now, the chemicals in tear gas speed up the infection since it can make people cough, sneeze, their eyes to water, creating an easy entry point for the virus. Since the virus commonly takes 2 to 14 days before any symptoms appear, experts believe that it might take weeks before the country can see the spike in coronavirus cases. Another factor is that a lot of the protesters are healthy young people. And right now, we are seeing a trickle down of that possibility. In fact, 6 US states have already reported having the highest number of coronavirus cases since the outbreak started. This marks the second wave of increasing coronavirus cases. Just last month, the cases went on a decline because of social distancing and a strict stay-at-home order. But with the political climate, well, we might just be talking about a ticking time bomb. States such as Arizona, Florida, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Texas all reported that they have reached new highs in terms of coronavirus cases. Health officials from Texas claim that while the situation is still manageable, they know that it might not be the case for long. The sad reality is people of color will be the ones heavily affected by the outbreak. It's been noted that all throughout the outbreak, a disproportionately large amount of cases affected people of color. To point this out, the country has lost more than 24,000 black lives to COVID-19. The numbers meant that black people are dying nearly 2 times higher than the rest of the population. 4 of the top 5 counties with the highest death rates in the US are people coming from African American communities. But despite the risks that are involved, a lot of people believe that protesting is worth it, or that it might be a bigger fight than the virus itself. In fact, in a report from the LA Times, 1 in 1,000 black men and boys will be killed by the police. So as experts put it, African American men have a higher chance of being killed by law enforcement than winning the lottery or getting infected by the coronavirus. No matter where you look, there are a lot of risks involved on both ends, on choosing to stay safe or going out and being part of the crowd. And that choice is yours. If you want to know more about how to stay safe during the riots, we mentioned a few tips in the box below. So, do you think the protests are worth it? Or should people wait till the virus dies down? We would really love to know what you think, so be sure to drop us a comment in the box below.